If you think comfort and performance only come with a Harley-Davidson badge and a hefty price tag, think again. These 14 Japanese motorcycles deliver smoother rides, easier maintenance, and better performance, all for half the price. From retro muscle to modern cruisers, these bikes prove comfort doesn't have to cost a fortune. Number 14. Yamaha XSR 700. This bike proves that you don't have to choose between comfort, style, and real-world performance. This machine blends vintage aesthetics with modern reliability in a way that few motorcycles can pull off. It doesn't chase trends, it refines tradition. And for riders over 45 who want a capable, light, and easygoing bike without the heavy cruiser bulk, this one hits the sweet spot. At its core is a 689 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine that produces 74 horsepower and 50 pound-feet of torque. The whole package weighs just 406 pounds, making it one of the lightest in its class. That means smooth acceleration, nimble cornering, and low-speed control that builds confidence. The XSR uses a conventional 41mm front fork and a rear monoshock with adjustable preload, balancing comfort and stability. Brakes include dual 2-piston calipers with 282mm discs up front and a single rear disc, complete with standard anti-lock braking. Its 3.7-gallon tank and over 50 miles per gallon fuel efficiency give it solid range, while its price, just above $8,000, makes it a strong value compared to similarly sized Harley-Davidson cruisers. But where the XSR really stands out is in ergonomics. The upright bars, flat seat, and mid-position pegs allow you to stay relaxed for hours. No aching wrists, no sore back, just ride. It's practical without being plain, stylish without being flashy, and fun without being exhausting. So if you're done being sore after every ride, or tired of bikes that look better than they feel, this could be the upgrade you didn't know you were waiting for. It's a tough act to follow. But there's another machine that proves old-school design can still deliver modern-day comfort and smooth power on every ride. Number 13. Honda CB 1100. There's something special about a motorcycle that feels familiar the moment you sit on it. This one doesn't shout for attention. It earns respect with balance, ease, and timeless design. For older riders who want a no-drama, all-day companion, it checks every box without trying to prove anything. Power comes from an 1140 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine, producing 89 horsepower and 68 pound-feet of torque. It weighs 563 pounds wet, offering just the right amount of heft to stay planted on the highway without feeling like a chore in town. A traditional telescopic front fork and twin rear shocks lean toward comfort, soaking up bumps and uneven pavement with minimal disruption. Braking is handled by dual front disc with 2-piston calipers and a single rear disc, all supported by anti-lock braking. Riders report real-world fuel efficiency of about 45 miles per gallon from a 3.9-gallon tank, giving it solid range for longer trips. And with a price near $12,000, it blends classic charm with modern reliability in a package that just works. Its true strength, however, lies in long-haul comfort. The wide, flat seat is generously padded, while the upright handlebars and mid-mounted pegs reduce pressure on your back and shoulders. Even after hours in the saddle, you won't feel like you've been through a war. Whether cruising scenic back roads, rolling through small towns, or simply heading to work, this bike never feels out of place. Now let's shift to a bike that's earned a reputation for being the ultimate middleweight do-it-all machine, with torque and comfort baked into every ride. Number 12. Suzuki SV 650. Sometimes the best bikes aren't flashy. They just work. This one is a favorite among seasoned riders for a reason. It's light, nimble, comfortable, and surprisingly capable on everything from weekend cruises to daily commutes. For anyone returning to riding or looking for a dependable machine that doesn't break the bank, it's a hard one to beat. Power comes from a 645 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, making 75 horsepower and 47 pound-feet of torque. Weighing just 433 pounds wet, it's one of the lightest mid-size bikes on the road. The seat height sits at a manageable 30.9 inches. Allowing most riders to plant both feet confidently at a stop. Suspension is handled by a conventional telescopic front fork and a link-type rear shock that offers a smooth, composed ride across rough pavement. Braking is controlled by dual front discs with 2-piston calipers and a single rear disc, with standard anti-lock braking on modern models. Fuel economy averages over 50 miles per gallon from a 3.8-gallon tank, offering more than 150 miles between stops. And with a base price under $8,000, it's one of the best values on the market. What makes this bike stand out is how effortless it feels. The ergonomics are neutral, with a slight forward lean and relaxed peg position that keeps your spine and wrists from aching. Whether you're riding through city traffic or winding country roads, it stays calm, planted, and responsive without ever being demanding. The next bike on the list is a retro-styled machine with serious muscle and big bike attitude, without sacrificing comfort. Number 11. Yamaha MT-09SP. If you want comfort without sacrificing power, this machine hits that rare sweet spot. It's one of the few modern Japanese motorcycles that combines aggressive torque with all-day ergonomics. Built for riders who want to feel fast without feeling sore. It doesn't compromise. It just delivers. Power comes from an 890 cubic centimeter inline 3-cylinder engine producing 117 horsepower and 68 pound-feet of torque. It weighs only 420 pounds, making it light, flickable, and effortless in tight corners or city traffic. Braking is handled by dual front discs and a single rear disc, all supported by anti-lock braking for added safety. The fully adjustable KYB front fork and Öhlins rear shock allow riders to tune their suspension exactly how they like it. Soft for comfort or firm for sharper performance. A ride-by-wire throttle system, traction control, and a crisp full-color TFT display bring modern tech into every moment of your ride. And while fuel efficiency isn't its headline feature, riders regularly report solid mileage for a middleweight performance bike in this class. The price hovers around $10,000, putting it right in line with top-tier street fighters, without compromising comfort. Ergonomically, this machine feels custom-built for real riders. The upright seating position takes pressure off your wrists and back, while the narrow waist and sculpted seat allow you to stay comfortable hour after hour. Now, if that caught your attention, wait until you see the next bike, an underrated touring machine that's built to handle serious miles with zero complaints. Number 10. Kawasaki Versys 650 LT. Some bikes were made to cruise. Others were built to tour. The Versys 650 LT does both, without asking you to compromise. Kawasaki designed this machine for riders who care more about seat time than showroom flash. And for older riders who value comfort, control, and practicality, it delivers where it counts. Powering the Versys is a 649 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine that puts out 66 horsepower and 47 pound-feet of torque. It weighs in at just 477 pounds wet, making it nimble in the city but rock solid at highway speeds. The long travel suspension includes a 41mm front fork and a preload adjustable rear shock that absorbs rough pavement with ease. Braking is handled by dual front pedal discs and a single rear disc backed by anti-lock braking for steady stops in all conditions. The seat height comes in at 33.1 inches, and with standard saddlebags and an adjustable windscreen, the LT model is ready for long days on the road. The price sits just above $10,000, giving you real-world touring capability at a fraction of what larger adventure bikes cost. But numbers only tell part of the story. What sets the Versys apart is how effortless it feels. You sit upright, relaxed, and fully in control. Tall bars, neutral pegs, and a wide supportive seat make hours in the saddle fly by. It's a bike that doesn't punish you for putting in miles. It rewards you. Whether you're tackling winding mountain roads or rolling through backcountry highways, the Kawasaki Versys 650 LT stays composed, capable, and comfortable. Now let's shift gears to a Honda that proves you don't need high tech to have a good time. If you're the kind of rider who cares how a seat actually feels after an hour on the road, not just how it looks in the showroom, this channel is for you. Like and subscribe now, and let's keep making better rides, one video at a time. Number 9. Honda Hornet 900. There's a reason some bikes stick around in the memory long after they've disappeared from showrooms. The Honda Hornet 900 is one of those machines. It doesn't rely on flashy electronics or high-tech distractions to win riders over. Instead, it leans into its roots. delivering raw mechanical charm, consistent performance, and a ride that feels honest from the first twist of the throttle. Underneath its understated exterior lies a 919 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine, producing 109 horsepower and 67 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 5-speed transmission and housed in a steel backbone frame, giving the bike a solid, grounded feel. At 514 pounds, the Hornet carries its weight with confidence, never feeling heavy or sluggish thanks to balanced geometry and predictable handling. Suspension includes a standard telescopic fork up front and a rear monoshock with preload adjustability. Nothing fancy, but more than capable of absorbing uneven pavement. Stopping duties are managed by dual discs in the front and a single disc in the rear, and the minimalist gauge cluster and lack of ride modes remind you that this bike is all about staying connected to the road, not buried in menus. Ergonomics on the Hornet hit a sweet spot. Upright, natural, and just aggressive enough to feel engaged without tiring you out. The price for a clean, used Hornet typically lands around $4,500, making it one of the best retro modern performance values on the market today. The next bike on our list takes that same bulletproof reliability and adds a dose of retro flair, without adding any back pain. Number 8. Suzuki Bandit 1200. This bike never made headlines, but it quietly became a legend among riders who actually put in miles. The Suzuki Bandit 1200 isn't glamorous. It's not trying to be. What it is dependable, fast, and shockingly comfortable for something that looks this unassuming. There's no sales pitch, no gimmick, just a big motor, a relaxed ride, and enough power to keep you entertained for the next 100,000 miles. Its 1,157 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine produces 98 horsepower and 69 pound-feet of torque. That's serious pull in the real world, whether you're climbing a hill in top gear or passing a semi without downshifting. It weighs 568 pounds wet, so it holds steady at speed, but doesn't feel like you're muscling around a whale. Suspension includes telescopic forks up front and a preload adjustable monoshock in the rear, basic but reliable. Dual front discs and a single rear disc provide steady, drama-free braking. Fuel economy sits around 42 miles per gallon, and the small fairing helps push wind up and over your chest without causing helmet buffeting. It's not flashy, but it works. And here's the kicker. The price for a clean used Bandit typically falls between $3,000 and $4,000, making it an incredible deal for the performance and reliability you get. What makes the Bandit stand out isn't style, it's stamina. The upright seating, wide bars, and soft saddle aren't just comfortable, they're sensible. This bike wasn't built for short rides, it was built for long weekends, daily commutes, and everything in between. For older riders especially, it's the kind of machine that gets better the longer you own it. Now let's move to the next ride on the list, one that brings VE4 torque upright control and a whole lot of street presence. Number 7. Yamaha VMAX. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's a sledgehammer on two wheels. The Yamaha VMAX wasn't designed to blend in, it was designed to flex muscle, turn heads, and scare sport bikes at stoplights. But here's the twist. It does all that while keeping your spine intact and your grin wide. For older riders who want power and comfort, few machines hit harder or ride smoother. Beneath the aggressive styling sits a 1,679 cubic centimeter V4 engine that cranks out 174 horsepower and 113 pound-feet of torque. That's not a typo. It's drag strip torque with road trip manners. The bike weighs 683 pounds, but the mass disappears once you're moving. Fully adjustable suspension at both ends helps dial in comfort or control depending on your style. Stopping power comes from dual front discs with 6-piston calipers and a large rear disc, giving the VMAX sharp, responsive braking. And while fuel economy hovers around 37 miles per gallon, no one's buying this thing for mileage. You buy it to feel something. The price for a clean used VMAX usually falls between $8,000 and $11,000 depending on condition, and it's worth every penny if you crave power with presence. What makes the VMAX a legend isn't just its numbers, it's how it treats the rider. You sit upright with wide bars that keep your arms relaxed and mid-mounted pegs that keep your knees bent just right. It's a layout that welcomes longer rides without beating you up. There's no need to hunch, stretch, or suffer. Just twist and go. If you want a bike that turns heads, throws down, and keeps you comfortable all at once, the VMAX is your guy. And if vintage style mixed with modern refinement is more your flavor, the next bike may be your perfect fit. Number 6. Kawasaki Z900 RS. Some bikes chase the future. This one honors the past and somehow still feels ahead of its time. The Kawasaki Z900 RS is more than a throwback. It's a precision-built tribute to an era when motorcycles were raw, mechanical, and proud. But don't be fooled by the retro paint and round headlamp. This machine is as refined as anything on the road today. It runs on a 948 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine that produces 111 horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque. The Z weighs 473 pounds wet, making it light for a standard bike with this kind of muscle and poise. Power delivery is smooth and usable, tuned for real-world conditions, not racetracks. Suspension consists of a fully adjustable 41mm upside-down front fork and a horizontal backlink rear shock, letting riders fine-tune comfort or stiffness as needed. Braking comes from dual 4-piston front calipers, grabbing 267-inch discs and a single rear disc, with anti-lock braking standard. Fuel economy sits comfortably above 45 miles per gallon, giving it respectable range for daily rides or weekend escapes. The price lands around $12,000, putting it in premium territory, but it delivers on every dollar with build quality and ride feel that rivals European machines. What makes the Z900 RS stand out isn't just the performance, it's how it makes you feel. The upright bars, mid-set pegs, and deeply padded seat create an easygoing riding posture. The Z900RS isn't just about style, it's built to ride. And if the open road is calling, the next bike might be the smoothest way to answer. Number 5. Honda CB500X. Not every rider wants a beast. Some just want a bike that fits, something that's easy on the body, reliable as the sunrise, and versatile enough to handle whatever the day throws at it. That's exactly where the Honda CB500X shines. No hype, no gimmicks, just a smart, comfortable machine that does exactly what it promises. Its 471 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine delivers 47 horsepower and 32 pound-feet of torque. That may not sound like much, but it's plenty for commuting, highway cruising, or light touring, especially when paired with the bike's smooth throttle response. At 434 pounds wet, it feels nimble in parking lots and planted at speed. The suspension setup includes a 41mm Showa front fork and a Pro-Link rear shock with a respectable travel for gravel or uneven roads. Braking is handled by a single 296mm front disc with a twin-piston caliper and a 240mm rear disc, both backed by standard anti-lock braking. The fuel tank holds 4.6 gallons, delivering a practical range of up to 240 miles. Seat height is 32.8 inches, tall enough for visibility but low enough for stability. The price sits just below $7,000, making it one of the best all-around values in the midsize adventure category. What sets the CB500X apart is how little it asks from you. It doesn't require constant attention, aggressive inputs, or perfect riding posture. It just works, day in, day out. For older riders who want comfort without complexity, this bike quietly gets the job done. Some bikes are loud about their comfort. Others let the ride do the talking, and that's exactly where the next bike comes in. Number 4. Yamaha FZ1. It may look like a naked sport bike at first glance, but spend a little time in the saddle and you'll realize it's built for much more than speed. With relaxed ergos, long-haul comfort, and serious power on tap, this ride punches way above its weight class in the real world. Power comes from a 998 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine lifted from Yamaha's R1 platform, tuned to produce 150 horsepower and 78 pound-feet of torque. The delivery is smoother and more usable across the rev range than its super sport sibling, making it easier to manage in daily riding. It weighs 487 pounds wet, giving it just enough heft for planted highway cruising while remaining nimble in corners. Suspension includes fully adjustable forks up front and a rear monoshock with preload and rebound settings, allowing full customization for your weight and riding style. Braking is handled by dual front rotors with 4-piston calipers and a single rear disc. Fuel capacity sits just under 5 gallons, offering about 180 miles of range depending on your throttle habits. With minimal bodywork and a thriving aftermarket, this machine is simple to maintain and easy to upgrade. The price for a well-kept used FZ1 generally lands between $4,000 and $6,000, making it one of the best high-performance bargains for riders who want real-world comfort. What sets it apart is how comfortable it is without ever feeling dull. Before sport bikes had wings and dashboards looked like cockpits, there was this. A motorcycle that redefined what riders could expect from 2 wheels. Wait until you see the next bike. Number 3. Honda CB750. It didn't rely on gimmicks, it didn't shout for attention, it just worked. Beautifully, reliably, and consistently. This was the machine that proved Japan could build world-class motorcycles, and it's still winning over riders more than 5 decades later. At the heart of this icon is a 736 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine producing 67 horsepower and 44 pound-feet of torque. The numbers may sound humble by modern standards, but the power band is smooth, predictable, and remarkably refined. Tipping the scales at roughly 470 pounds, it strikes a near-perfect balance, grounded and steady without feeling sluggish. Suspension is simple. Telescopic forks up front and dual shocks in the rear, tuned for comfort over flash. Braking is handled by a single disc up front and a rear drum. No anti-lock braking, no ride modes, just a straightforward mechanical setup that does exactly what it needs to, with no extras to get in the way. The price for a clean, well-maintained example of this classic often ranges between $6,000 and $9,000, depending on originality and condition. An investment that continues to appreciate among collectors and purists. The seating position invites you to relax. A wide, soft saddle, upright handlebars, and mid-mounted pegs create a natural triangle that's easy on the joints and perfect for all-day riding. Nothing feels forced, nothing feels rushed. Even after all these years, this isn't just an old motorcycle, it's a rolling reminder that sometimes less really is more. And when it comes to lasting value, few bikes have stood the test of time quite like this one. For riders over 45 who want comfort, class, and total dependability, the CB750 remains the gold standard, a legacy on 2 wheels. Some bikes chase trends, others bring back everything you loved about the old days, only better. But if this bike is not for you, wait until you see the next one. Number 2. Kawasaki ZRX 1200R. This one delivers throwback muscle without sacrificing the comforts modern riders expect. It looks like it just rolled out of a 1980s race garage, but it rides like a well-tuned street machine. Precise, powerful, and shockingly comfortable. For riders over 45 who want performance without contortions, this bike hits a rare sweet spot. Its 1164 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine delivers 122 horsepower and 81 pound-feet of torque. That power comes on smooth with a wide torquey curve and addictive roll-on acceleration that never feels twitchy or unstable. The ZRX weighs in at 572 pounds, giving it a planted feel without feeling sluggish. Suspension includes a fully adjustable front fork and twin piggyback shocks at the rear, allowing for fine-tuning based on weight, terrain, or preference. Dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc provide steady, reliable stopping power, and the chassis remains composed even under aggressive inputs. Priced at $8,995 in its final production years, the ZRX delivered superb value for the level of punch it offered. What really sets it apart is the comfort baked into the design. Wide handlebars, an upright seating position, and a plush saddle make long rides feel effortless. It's the kind of bike that delivers sport performance without the sport bike punishment. No aching wrists, no cramped knees, just smooth, confident riding and old-school charm. Now let's head to number 1, a modern marvel that has quietly become one of the best all-around Japanese motorcycles ever built. Number 1. Yamaha MT-07. It's rare to find a machine that checks all the right boxes without trying too hard. Light, affordable, and wildly fun, this one manages to blend comfort, performance, and versatility in a way that few motorcycles can, especially for riders over 45 who want to stay connected to the road without sacrificing rideability. Power comes from a 689 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, delivering 74 horsepower and 50 pound-feet of torque. That may not sound like much on paper, but paired with a curb weight of just 403 pounds, the result is a bike that feels eager, responsive, and shockingly quick. The torquey curve is broad and accessible, giving it that punchy, usable feel that makes every throttle roll addictive. Braking duties are handled by dual front discs with 4-piston calipers and a single rear disc, sharp enough for spirited riding, smooth enough for daily use. The suspension setup includes a telescopic fork and a link-type rear monoshock tuned for real-world roads with a hint of sporty edge. Seat height is a manageable 31.7 inches, and real-world fuel economy often exceeds 50 miles per gallon. At $8,399 new, it offers massive bang for the buck. Now that you've seen the most back-friendly bargains on two wheels, tell us which one wins it for you. Got your own comfort favorite? Let us know below, and like and subscribe if you're into bike talk. That puts riders first.